Hello everyone and welcome to another Thomas video. So today we're taking a look at Izzet Delver in Thomas format. So funny thing is, even though it's called Izzet Delver, we're actually not going to be playing any Delver in this deck because we are completely replacing the Delvers with the Hydroponics Architect, considering that Hydroponics Architect is a much better card at running away with the game in my opinion. And it's also not weak to Orcish Bowmaster, which is another reason why we might actually want this card over the Delver. And the reason for the revisit is of course of the Force of Negation. We have a Dragon Rage Howler and Hydroponics Architect that can get away with the game. And what better way to do that than playing out 3 counter spells with Force of Negation. And we also have 2 copies of Subtlety against the creature as well. So we'll have to see how the Force of Negation does for this deck. So instead, I'm gonna be hopping over to some Thomas 3 to show you guys what the deck does. So let's hop there. Right, let's take a look at this deck today. So we like these 3 for sure. I'm just not sure about the Force Spike, or am I keeping the Force Spike or the Strip Mine? Maybe because I have a Quarry Steel Cutter, it's probably better to have things like Ponder than a Force Spike. At least that's what I'm thinking. So opponent starts with a Strip Mine into a Grief, getting rid of a Quarry Steel Cutter. Would have been a really nice card to actually have on the battlefield. Oh, it's a Reanimator. Okay. That's an instant speed. I think I'll take action. It's a good card. A Watery Grave. If I attack 6 damage in the air, 3 damage and then Lightning Bolt. They can't. No, I guess they can barely reanimate. Opponent can barely reanimate here. But they're not gonna be able to like go Entomb into reanimate actually. No, they're not gonna be able to reanimate because yeah, the Aatrox option's just gone now. The Aatrox option is gone. The thing is, if I don't think I Treasure Cruise. Instant speed, land, sorcery, so I would need like a creature or artifact in the graveyard. It's not. I shouldn't have cracked this. That was bad. Yeah, that was bad. Hydroponics. Rainstorm. Okay, that's another sorcery in the yard. We might be able to Treasure Cruise now. This is also... I could do this and then put the Quarry Steel Cutter on top, but I don't think that makes too much sense. So land, 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 land. Instant speed, instant speed. Sorcery. There we go. This is a something that we can activate with the Quarry Steel Cutter, but probably not. Deal damage. The point is they can't reanimate, right? They can't reanimate. So we are dealing with a reanimator. Surgical in. Force of negation in. Brazen Bee in. I'm not really sure if invasive surgery is that great. Isn't reanimate the only card that can be countered with this card? I'm not 100% sure about this one. I'll also bring another copy of Unholy Heat and Unable to Scream. Subtlety. If they still play Grief, Subtlety is gonna be pretty amazing. I guess I'll like cut like 2 Ponders. Maybe a copy of a Quarry Steel Cutter. Copy of a Mishra's Bauble. Lightning Bolt. Seems pretty necessary. Yeah, I mean, I guess Invasive Surgery is probably the card to go then. It's for show and tell matchup, but yeah. I also don't know about the Subtlety. Subtlety is like good, but not that good. I guess it's pretty good for Grief, but what to cut? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we'll have to revisit the sideboard after this game. That was too much. Okay, that's an insta-keep. Everything works except Force of Negation. Maybe you're not actually supposed to cut the Mishra's Bubble ever because of a Quarry Steel Cutter. Yeah. Wow, they just... I guess they just wanted to... This must be like reanimate Entomb or something. Yeah, this could be like a reanimate Entomb. We'll see. Okay, so I need a blue spell like immediately. Or that. So we're gonna need to see a blue spell off the top. Okay, it's a fatal push. We're okay with that. Sure. Let's see what they are topping. A Tameo. Pretty good. Okay, we even have a Brazen Bee against like a Reanimate. If it does come out. Man, this deck is actually feeling pretty good already. I mean, to be fair, my opponent did mulligan to 4. And it does seem like we have enough answers against like Aatroxa that comes down, things like that. I think the Quarry Steel Cutter is pretty sick. Alright, we have a SNT opponent potentially. Their name is Minos SNT. Okay, we're gonna keep this one. That's not SNT. Opponents lying out of their teeth. Watch me get spell pierced. Thank you. Opponent kept on top. It's kind of scary. Do a strip mine. We're gonna keep the island. Alright, so let's play the island. Play the channeler. I guess I want to play the Mishra's Bubble. In case they have a removal spell here. Into a Subtlety. Alright, so Subtlety is really good if opponent's playing Oko. But their name is Minos SNT. Like, it could be a show and tell deck that's playing Hydroponics Architect. Oh, man. Since I have a Brazen Bee, I guess I don't really need a Subtlety here. And I'll just play a Hydroponics Architect. And I'll pass. Okay, so it's that kind of deck. I'll actually Mishra's Bauble on opponent some upkeep. It's another strip mine. Good thing we have another brainstorm. Where is Zone Guard? This is actually really looking bad, right? Because we have to kill this thing, but the Worry Zone Guard. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay. I guess the Worry Zone Guard is gonna live for a couple turns here. I can't really stop it, right? Bum bum bum. Okay. The thing is, I have limited amount of red sources, and the opponent already blew up 2 of our red source here, so we only have 3 more, I think. So they're gonna go with the Worry Zone Guard. Now, I could ignore this. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Opponent goes to 6. What should I do? Do I kill the Worry Zone Guard, or... The thing is, I don't think I can even raise them. Oh, did I make a mistake? I may have made a mistake here. I made a mistake. I don't think I can raise them. That's the thing. Ah, no. What a mistake, man. What a mistake. I let them get back another land for free like that. What a bad mistake. Wow, they have another strip mine. 3 strip mines. 3 back-to-back strip mines. Lightning bolt. I take 5, and I take additional 3. This is gonna be pretty close. If I knew I was gonna top deck a lightning bolt, I definitely wouldn't have killed a Wary Zone Guard, but you know. I mean, like, especially if opponent has a, you know, a creature. I'm probably dead. Or a removal spell, I guess. So we'll see. We shall see. Another land. That's fine. As long as this Hydroponics Architect blocks the Wary Zone Guard here, I'll be pretty happy. And Dragon Rage Chandler lives, that is. We'll see. We'll see here. The thing is, opponent could be holding on to, oh my god, they're holding on to Counter Spell. That's what they're holding on to. I mean, I can't really, like, stop my opponent from, like, having that. So, I guess, this is my final attempt. They have it. No! Yep, they got the Force of Negation. Close game, close game. Alright, so we just need to watch out for Wary Zone Guard. The thing is, I didn't know what opponent was playing, and I wasn't really playing around the Wary Zone Guard coming out. I think that's really the only reason why we lost against the Wary Zone Guard. I'm pretty sure we had a Lightning Bolt right there. And we also had the chance to actually top a Subtlety, but their name caught me off guard. Like, their name was a SNT. Like, yeah, I thought opponent was playing something different. Also have a Disruptor Flute. Force of Negation. Do we care about the Force of Negation? Like, they're playing out a bunch of creatures. I guess they could have, like, Planeswalkers. I'll cut 2 Ponders and copy up a Mishra's Bubble, I guess. I can see myself having a Surgical. Yeah, maybe potentially having a Surgical could be beneficial against that deck. What do we cut for it, though? Alright. Wonderful hand. I don't think I want to play a Mishra's Bubble here. Yeah, I'll just skip my turn here with the Mishra's Bubble. See if I can get like a Quarry Steel Cutter, things like that. Alright, so opponent has... Oh, they have a Stifle! They have a Stifle. There was a trigger, there was a stop when I attacked with the Hydroponics Architect. I guess if that's the case, looking at my... Like, I can't crack this Flood of Strength anyway, so... I'll just look at opponent's, Okay, they have a Spell Pierce. A Stifle Gamer. And they have a Strip Mine as well, so this is gonna be, like, super problematic. How do we get rid of opponent's Stifle? So we're gonna lose another card here. I mean, I think I just have to probably crack this. I mean, I can just keep letting opponent like hold on to lands. The thing is, I don't want to top these. Right? I don't want to top those. I think I'll let opponent stifle here. Actually, does this prevent the searching? Okay, it does. Okay, then that was kind of dumb. We got Thundering Falls. I'll just surveil here. I'll just surgical now because opponent has a revealed Spell Pierce. So Spell Pierce, Ancient Grudge, Ponder, Spell Pierce. Wow, not even going to wait for your Spell Pierce to protect your Hydroponics Architect. Okay. Let's see what they're gonna draw. Another land. I think I have to Treasure Cruise, right? We have an artifact. I guess, do I have a choice, actually? I'll put an artifact. I'll exile everything. Okay, we got a Strip Mine, which isn't quite what we wanted to see there. Okay, we got a land. That's really good. Play Chain Lightning. All right. I'll pass. This is happening for sure. Opponent's playing Stifle, so I might actually have to crack this. Okay, so they cracked that. They can still Ancient Grudge, even if I play the Disruptor Flute. Let's just let them draw. Another Lightning Bolt. Okay, I think I'm gonna Brazen Bee here. Oh, this one hit twice. Oh, wow. I want to see if opponent would Spell Pierce this when they can just replay it. Okay, they will Spell Pierce it. Sure. I'm a bit surprised by that. Okay, I guess I will play the Dragon Ray Channeler. Fetch. Unholy Heat. A Force of Negation. Not bad when we have a full set of cards like these. Blue cards, that is. And I'll just pass here. Do I want to play this Disruptor Flute? Probably not. Maybe I'm gonna push for extra damage here. They even play a Force Spike. Wow. Into a Quarry Steel Cutter. Into a Quarry Steel Cutter. I could blow up 2 of these red lands. Maybe. Okay, let's resolve this first. into blowing up the red lands here. And I'll draw. I don't need a sorcery in there. Creature, creature, creature. Lightning bolt. We'll take it. Ooh, we have a subtlety. That's really good. Put the hydroponics on top. An opponent should be dead. Okay. I think Force of Negation isn't that great, but it does like prevent like stifles and stuff like that. But I don't think the Force of Negation is that great overall. I think the Surgical was pretty amazing because I didn't have to like play around opponents like strip mines and stuff like that. So that was really good. I think the Subtlety is amazing. I think I like my sideboarding. Okay, we have Surgical yet again, which is really good with the Subtlety as well. Although I'm not really sure if I want to The thing is, I actually think I should Subtlety this. Okay, so they put it back, so they must have more. We're not gonna be using the Surgical yet. We're saving for the Strip Mine, and we're also saving for a Quarry Steel Cutter. Relic of Progenitus. Did not expect that. Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower. Now the question is, am I using Surgical here to proc the Quarry Steel Cutter, that is? Kinda hard to say. Kinda hard to say, actually. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't like doing this, but I guess I don't have a choice. A Brainstorm. You do like another cantrip. So they have a Stifle, and they have a Lightning Bolt. Double Force of Negation, so they cut some Force of Negations. They still have Worries on Guards. Ancient Grudge, 2 copies of it. So as long as opponent doesn't draw 2 copies of Ancient Grudge, we're okay. And they have a distribution of 3 Lightning Bolts and 1 Chain Lightning. Okay. Looking good. Another relic. They killed that. I feel like they should have definitely killed a Dragon Rage Chandler, I think. At least in my opinion. So that's a land. Land. So currently there's 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't cast a Treasure Cruise. I don't think I'm gonna be able to cast a Treasure Cruise with the double relic, so. Now the question is, am I playing the Unholy Heat here and then casting the Ponder next turn? If so, I just dealt... I got hit for 2 damage for here, no reason, so... I think I'm just going to save the Ponder for next turn. So that shock was a misplay. Or his own guard, we're okay with that. Okay, we're gonna brainstorm first again. Alright, opponent's dead. They are dead. Alright, GG's. This was actually a pretty cool game. I do wonder if, you know, Flute in this deck is a little bit too greedy. Okay, we're playing against Loris. I think this hand could work. Blood Crypt and a Thoughtseize. No. No, okay. Let's see what opponent's drawing next to see whether or not we want to strip mine or lightning bolt. Another land. I guess I have to lightning bolt either way since it's a Ragavan. Ooh, immediately punished. So because I was going to... always gonna kill the Ragavan anyways, I guess I should have just waited. I shouldn't have used the Mishra's Bubble. Right? So that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Mistakes were made. Alright, maybe, how important is denying that Blood Crypt? I see a Sacred Foundry. Maybe, we won't have to worry about an Orcish Bowmaster coming out by doing this. So where's the Plowshare? 3 cards in the yard. This is 4 cards in the yard. I think I'll get rid of a Brainstorm. I think my next turn is the Hydroponics Architect. Guide of Soul. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Hydroponics Architect and pass a turn. I guess I'm attacking. It's not like I can block. I double block and then they use a removal spell and it's pretty terrible.
Teamwork triumphs.
It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. It's like I'm gonna have to chump block now. We'll see. Bowmaster, that's pretty bad. I could double block the Amped Raptor and then the Cat Warrior token. Ajani does transform, but without the Amped Raptor, the Ajani can't deal damage. This game is probably lost anyways. So I need to top deck like a Lightning Bolt on the Orcish Bowmaster.
Traitors will be punished.
Wow, their last card was a Ragavan. How perfect. All right. Brazen Be out. Double Ponders and a copy of a Mishra's Bauble. Corey Stillcutter is also like kind of meh against them, in my opinion. Very hard to attack with this card. So maybe potentially like we're seeing like -2 of them, and we'll work with this. Actually, Force of Negation is also kind of bad. Thinking about it. So maybe we'll have a Ponder back in. You can kind of treat this hand as a 3 land plus 4 playable cards. This hand might actually be okay. all things considered. Question is, am I playing the strip mine first so that I can strip mine next turn again? But probably better to be on the aggression. So opponent has a Ragavan. Opponent has a Ragavan. Sacred Foundry into Guide Up Soul. We have another Dragon Ray Channeler. Preferably, I don't want to use the Unholy Heat here. I want to use it next turn with the Dragon Ray Channeler. So where's the Plowshare? I guess I'll use it then, since you're not playing anything here. I'll play the Dragon Ray Channeler and then I'll strip mine again. The opponent plays a Ragavan. I guess in case I don't draw a removal spell, I guess I pass to my second main phase and then I'll Brainstorm so that the Dragon Ray Channeler can't attack here. Another Brainstorm. Do I want that? I guess it's not... A Bowmaster could come out next turn. Okay, these are great cards, actually. Opponent might be able to get rid of this Dragon Ray Channeler here, but we should be able to counter a 2-mana card coming out. Or I could give them, like, if they're stuck on mana, I could give them mana. And then I'll intentionally spell snare here. What to do? There's so many... I could also block. And then I'll surveil. If I transform the Dragon Ray Channeler, it's a free trade. But let's say if it doesn't trade, that's also okay, I guess, because I mean that does mean that I might be letting go of a spell snare though. But I mean, I just blew up opponent's like 2 lands with the strip mine. Like, what are the chances of opponent having another land here? I want to say fairly low. So we didn't actually hit the cards that we wanted to see here. Hopefully opponent's like bricked. Oh my god. Insane. How many lands is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty unlucky, isn't it? That's pretty unlucky. Yeah, that's pretty unlucky. They're just so good at drawing lands. Like, what's going on here? It's like my strip mine actually didn't even matter. Right? It's like my strip mine actually didn't even matter. That's crazy. I do wonder what kind of hand they kept though. Like, did my opponent keep a hand with like 5 lands or something, or did they keep a hand with like only creatures and they just got lucky and drew only lands? Questions. This is like a fairly hard matchup though, I won't lie.
To the hunt.
But we did also kind of get unlucky this game, guessing things a little bit wrong. Guessing a bit wrong here and there, you know? Alright, I think it's time to pack it up here. So, that point where we surveilled with the Scalding Tarn to block the Ragavan, I think that was like the losing
Where
point.
shall we hunt today?
If I just blocked the Dragon Rage Chandler and then held up a Spell Snare for opponent's Juggernaut Peddler,
Hunt down the deceivers.
we may have had a chance.
Blades.
But the thing is, that was when I blew up, you know, 2 of the lands, so opponent only had 1 land there. I played 2 strip mines. This is probably like what, like 20 land deck, something like that. So for a deck like that, to play like a land, strip mine, and then they play land. Not something that happens, you know? It's not something that happens. I feel like that was not a bad gamble. Right. Played with this deck today. We lost to an energy at the end. I don't think the energy matchup is very good with this deck because they have a lot of removal spells and they can easily get rid of Quarry Steel Cutters, things like that. And Force of Negation is also incredibly bad against an energy deck. So it does kind of make sense that this deck does struggle against an energy. If this deck had more, you know, maybe Force Spikes and stuff like that, could make the matchup a little bit better. Maybe like 2 more copies of certain Scoldings in the sideboard plus Spell Snare. So I mean, there is a lot of ways to make matchup a bit better. But I think the current build can beat energy anyways. Like especially in game 2, I think had I just played a little bit differently, you know, and not gamble there, maybe we could be seeing like a game 3 situation there. As for the deck, I think the deck was perfectly okay. I think the Force of Negation has made the deck a lot better. Worry Zone Guard, we have the Lightning Bolt that perfectly answers it. And against the Worry Zone Guard decks, if you kind of resolve the Quarry Steel Cutter, you can eventually kill them by casting like 2 cards per turn. That's also the reason why we play 4 copies of Brainstorms and 4 copies of Ponders now with the Quarry Steel Cutter. And obviously we play 2 copies of Unholy Heat. And against like a Golgari mid-range, like you definitely want the Unholy Heat, copy of Unholy Heat, and potentially like another copy of Unable to Scream against that deck as well. And that'll help you against like a Worry Zone Guard. The Barragoyf as well. The Barragoyf, you kind of want to balance the Barragoyf with the Brazen Bee because it's a 3 on the card, and you know, if you already have like Resolve, Dragon Rage Chandler, and the Hydroponics Architect, it's better to balance it for tempo purpose. And as for the sideboard, we're playing Spell Snare instead of Stern Scolding, even though Stern Scolding is a much better card versus the energy deck. And that's because the Spell Snare works on both the Esper Tempo and the energy. And we play 2 copies of Surgical Extraction. This is the Graveyard Hate of the choice because we are playing Quarry Steel Cutter. And Fire Magic, really good against energy. And we have a copy of a Disruptor Flute. I'm not really sure about this card. Potentially, this could be like a Pitting Needle because it's cheaper. The reason why we're playing it is because we can deny things like a Belcher, Show and Tell, but it can also deny Dark Depths as well with the Thespian stage. So that's why we play one copy of a Disruptor Flute. And we play a copy of an Invasive Surgery. This could be good for Reanimate. This could also be really good for Show and Tell as well, so we play one copy of it. And we have a copy of an Unable to Scream. This has been suggested multiple times in the channel, so I decided to play one copy of it. And Cast into Fire. Playing this card because this is decently good against energy because it deals 1 damage. But this also happens to get rid of things like Chalice of the Void, which is the card that we want to watch out for. Plus this also deals with One Ring as well, so yeah. That is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all next one. Bye-bye.